going on, everybody? Hit pause here with a little bit of a demo for you guys. We had just put out our beta gameplay footage. Hopefully everybody's enjoying that. You all guys are invited to help us beta test. Come one, come all. All you got to do is throw a comment on that video and I will send you a message giving you the link and inviting you to Steam, and just go from there. If you guys want to play, just like I said, send me a message. So what we got here is our character select screen. Now you'll see that I'm actually in Adobe Flash Player here. It's actually just running the SkillTree SWF. None of this is actually fully implemented yet, but it's pretty much built, and we just need to kind of finalize it and get everything ready. So what we got here is actually, I'll open it again. Now it's kind of hard because it doesn't open full screen right away. But you can see that, just a small little animation, nothing spectacular. And when you click, it brings up a little bio, if you guys want to read that. Weapons will bring up the weapon selection screen, and then select will select the character. Now, I'm not going to click this yet, but I'll show you guys that. So each character has its own biography. So we got the one for the nurse here. We got the one for the gunner here, who's, I think, pretty recognizable who that's supposed to be. And if you actually says it right there, is R.A.T.S. So we've also got the sniper. Now the sniper is based off of Vasily Zaitsev. If you've seen the movie Enemy at the Gates, you know who that is. So that's his backstory. Obviously R.A.T.S. here. The nurse is actually from history. I can't remember the one that I chose, but her bio's kind of taken from a historian, which is odd because, when you think about it, they've never really made like a feature-length movie about any historical nurses that I can remember. And the soldier is kind of like, in essence, I don't want to bring him down or anything, but he's basically a drone. It says here that, with thousands like him, he strives to be better than the rest. That's you. So, anyways, here we got the skills menu. And this comes up, and you can see it I just defaulted it to 100 points. You get a point with every level that you gain in the game. And basically what we've got is a skills list here. And when you click on it, it brings up a description, and basically it's a tree that you have to unlock in order. And you can see that what I've done is I made it so that it highlights all of the prerequisites before you can actually do it. And what's really cool is when you look at the last one, it lights up the whole thing, because you need to do everything. Okay, so when you click on it, you can upgrade it. You can see I got this cool little animation here. It squirts out, and it joins a point, and you officially have deploy armor. Now the actual skills here, you can see a lot of the times the text doesn't change, and you can see it just says soldier description. All of this stuff here, the name on here, the description, what it actually does, that's all just fill in stuff. That's easy stuff to do. I don't really need to worry about that. What's important is the functionality is done. So like I said, if you want to unlock stuff, you've got to basically unlock the prerequisite, and what that does is actually puts a highlight on the things that can be done next, right? Shows how many points it costs and whatnot. So to do this one here, you need to do these 7 elements here. Then these here are linkers, and I did that to make it slightly make it easier, but it's also giving me an opportunity because I got 6 of these things. And what I could do is when you get to this point, I was going to bring up a thing where you actually get to alter your base stats, which would be like your damage, your accuracy, your health, or your stamina, or something like that, right? We haven't, like I said, we haven't really come up with it yet. And if I go upgrade here, it pops open. It does a little squirt, which is kind of a custom written Flash particle generator. Can be pretty much any sprite, but they're little vector sprites. And then you can see that brings you down here. Now upgrade is available, and you can see here upgrades not available. So if I do these and upgrade all of these, then this will pop open, and then these become active. So you can do here. So at this point, I just put crit active. I was thinking maybe you can't crit until you get to a certain point. Now you have crit, and then you can get crit chance and stuff like that. We're gonna have skills like rampage. Each class is gonna have its own skills. They're also gonna have their own deployable, right? And you can see like affects the speed at which your bullets travel. It's not even the right description. It's like I said, that's just the text. It doesn't make a difference. It's real easy to fix. And the points are draining correctly. You can see that this one costs 5 points, so this should go to 86, and it does. Okay, boom, and then that's active. So I can go down the tree. Now what's also really cool about this is I made sure that I set it up so that if I go to a different character, like the nurse, she's got nurse description here. So everything is properly changing. It's got her portrait, and she's got no skills opened. So if I go back to the soldier and edit skills, boom, he's still got his stuff active. Whenever you make flash stuff or this kind of thing, you got to make sure that the initialize can still be fed the correct things. It can be kind of a lot of work. There's a lot of rabbit holes that you end up going down, like, oh, if you click this and then that, or if you double click this, or if you click this at the exact same time, you know, it's sometimes possible to break your own work if you double click or whatnot. It can break. So you got to be careful about that. And I was very careful with this one. This one's actually quite a lot of code involved. A lot of it's based on each piece, you know, having to go in and whatnot, but it does work. And like I said, you guys can look forward to that in the real game. And again, you know, this guy's got description for sniper, so everything's coming up with him. You can see he gets the ability to spot enemies, piercing shot, team laser, which basically he can. The idea, again, this isn't set. This was just a kind of a theory I had that he can activate like a team skill. And basically what would happen is everybody gets 100% laser point accuracy for 10-15 seconds or whatever, depending on how, like, laser accuracy is for himself, right? He can fire that off, and now he's got no deviation, no sway in his sniper rifle, and basically his bullet would be super fast, so he doesn't have to lead when he's got that. So kind of like a way to get a guaranteed shot in a sense, but you can only use it every 1 or 2 minutes or something like that, however fast it recharges. So we'll have like a skill, like your special ability thing. The other theory that we had for the game was that the team would have like a pool of points, and anybody who activates their team skill would drain some of those points, and every time somebody on the team gets a kill, you get some points in, you know, you get more points into the pool, that kind of thing. Almost in a sense, you know, like the resource for the whole team, but not running around, you know, chopping wood or anything like that. You're still going around fighting. So there is the skill tree for it, and hopefully you guys thought that was cool. I thought it came out pretty good. It works out rather well, I think. Description for gunners, so everything is still working. Sometimes you come back to these things after a while. I did build this thing about a month ago, but I did want to highlight it because we got people saying, oh, well, you know, what else is there? You know, we've shown the gameplay video, and you got to understand the gameplay video is cut, like pretty heavily cut down to just highlight the deaths and the kills. And that was actually me playing, and I was getting my butt kicked just as much as I was doing butt kicking, which I find to be good. As a developer of the game, sometimes you can find yourself, you know, being the guy who knows all of the little tricks and all that stuff, and can be the one that can, you know, win every match because, hey, I made this game, you know, I should be winning. But the game wasn't built that way. You know, it was built so that everybody stands a fair chance, and it is a first-person shooter, so all of our Counter-Strike and Call of Duty and Battlefield veterans, you know, are all going to basically walk into this game and just start kicking everybody's ass. So, yep, that's the skill tree, and again, we can upgrade here. It's got a cool little animation. It's random. There's a bit. It's actually all generated by math here for these. The way it's done has a deviation of going up for the most part, and it has anywhere between 5 and 50 little squirt particles that come flying out. And it's pretty handy, cool thing to do. You could change, like I said, you can change it to be sparks or stars or even, you know, like faded smoke. You can do a smoke trail going up and down or something like that, whatever you want, even an explosion, you know. You don't want to go too heavy with the flash sprite stuff because, see, the one thing that you'll notice on this is that if you've seen or if you've played the game, the R.A.T.S, we have a crosshair that's actually shaped like a wedge of cheese that spins whenever you're on stuff. I took that out of this because of how heavy this is. If you look here, there's actually a lot of animation going on at one time right now. There's actually a lot. Like there's these things are all going, and each one of these things is a separate element too, and inside of each one of these things is the separate elements going on inside of there. So it's, while it doesn't lag and runs perfectly smooth, it is I did have to optimize it as much as possible. I had these trails be a little bit they were a little more dense, you know, but actually I like the way that this looks now. And I think it's pretty clear what it's doing, you know, like, oh, okay, I need these things, you know, it makes sense. These, I was gonna have these turn like yellow on the outside, but I didn't want to go too crazy with it to be like, you know, I didn't want to be like, you know, insulting to the audience. Like I thought this would be enough, they'd get it from this, you know. It's me just giving people the benefit of the doubt. And yeah, so hopefully everybody liked that, and we will see you on the battlefield. Like I said, check out the R.A.T.S gameplay video on YouTube. Drop a comment if you're interested, and I will invite you to Steam so you can get in the R.A.T.S group and jump in. We do have a server, and we want to try to get more players in there. We want to try to fill it up, give it some stress testing, see what we can do to break it, you know. Hopefully it doesn't break. It's pretty stable right now, but if it does, you know, that's all part of it. So this is HipHop signing off, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.